Starting this fall, the City of Elmhurst will begin a citywide water meter changeout project requiring all residential and commercial water meters to be replaced. This project is needed because the majority of the city's meters are over 25 years old and have exceeded their life expectancy. The city has experienced many years of 18 to 20% of unaccounted for water. The city has hired Siemens as contractors to replace all water meters with highly accurate, non-moving part mechanical water meters that will aid in detecting leaks. The new water meters have the ability to provide on-demand reads as well as leak and tampering alerts and early identification of leaks before they surface. A customer portal will also be available for residents to electronically monitor for leaks and manage their water consumption online. Elmhurst water customers can expect to receive an introductory letter with project information. Project updates will regularly be posted on the city's website and social media pages. Residents are also encouraged to attend informational open house events that will be scheduled at City Hall. The water meter changeout project is expected to occur through spring of 2018 and is mandatory for all residents and businesses. The project will be completed in sections throughout the city. When Siemens is approaching a neighborhood, residents in the area will be sent a series of postcards requesting to schedule an appointment. Residents are asked to be responsive and schedule an appointment once this notification is received. The new water meter will be installed at no additional cost. Residents will be expected to have an adult over the age of 18 years old home at the time of appointment, which should take no more than 30 minutes to complete. Residents should attempt to locate their water meter in advance and ensure the meter is accessible for Siemens at the time of the appointment. On the date of the water meter changeout, the resident should take precautions and look for the logo on the installer's uniform and vehicle and make sure the installer's ID is visible before allowing the installer to enter the home. All of Siemens installers will be identified with an ID badge and will be driving marked vehicles. They will also be wearing project shirts with the project logo. Once the installer enters the home, residents will be asked to guide the installer to the location of the water meter. The installer will take the following steps to complete the water meter changeout. First, the installer will turn the water off at the main valve. Then the installer will exchange the old meter with the new meter. The installer will then turn the water back on, confirm proper flow direction, and inspect the installation to make sure no leaks are visible. The installer will connect the communication wire to the new meter and test to make sure a meter reading can be obtained. Finally, the installer will ensure that the work area is clean around the new water meter before leaving. During the installation process, the installer will take pictures of the old and new water meter. Once the water meter installation is complete, the installer will give the resident information on how to read the new meter and gain access to an online program called WaterSmart. WaterSmart is an online portal where residents can view account information, monitor daily water consumption, detect leaks, and set up notification alerts. The installer will also give the resident information on how to complete a customer service survey. Once the water meter is replaced, residents will receive a bill that will look the same as previous bills, but will include any remaining water use on the old meter, along with any cumulative use on the new meter. All subsequent bills will only include use from the new meter. A noticeable difference in the new bill will include uses registered in gallons versus cubic meters. Any billing questions should be directed to the city's utility billing department by calling 630-530-3111. The City of Elmhurst would like to thank all water customers for their cooperation during this important city project. Please visit www.elmhurst.org/water-meter-changeout for more information and to find out what area Siemens is currently working in. For questions on the installation process, please contact Siemens at 866-260-3176.
happy to see your smiley faces. My name is Cathy Jordan, and I am the chair for the Elmhurst Senior Commission. This Elmhurst Senior Commission advocates and tries to educate older adults in the Elmhurst community and the surrounding areas. I'd like to thank Park Place this morning for the treats that they've given us, and I'd also like to thank Mayor Morley, our manager, Jim Grabowski, and all the administrative staff at City Hall because they help us administer these programs. I'd also like to recognize our commissioners. I always say you're only as good as the people you are working with. And I need to tell you, Chris Hansen, she's in the back, give a little wave. You know, she is our housing chair, and she helped put together this program today. Maureen Wood, Grayson Haller, I've got to look around the room. Jackie Haddad is downstairs, and I don't know if I'm missing anyone, but if I did, I have, Joel Morris and Monica Barachello, and I always make a mess of her name, and I apologize. Okay, I would like to introduce our panel of experts who will share information about staying in your home safely. It is so important that, you know, we age in place, and they will be giving us a bird's eye view of how to do that in different capacities. The first panel speaker will be Jennifer Prell. She is the president of Paxem, senior move manager and professional estate liquidator. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you, and you can come on up.
Can you all hear me? I'm hoping this mic works. Okay. So today we're going to talk a little bit about collector or hoarder. I'm sure a few of us know a few collectors and a few of us know a few hoarders. They're not the same thing. So does anyone know the difference between a collector and a hoarder? I'm sure you do. If not, we're going to learn that today. So I'm using my iPad instead of this thing. Let's see here. All right. So the definition of a hoarder is hoarding is defined as a collection of items in excess. So it's hard to get rid of things, and that's the same for a collector or a hoarder. And hoarders aren't lazy. They just can't seem to wrap their mind around getting rid of things. Okay, so it's not that easy. All right, so as you can see on the lovely screen, the definition of a collector is a person who collects things of interest, specific types. Some people collect comic books. Some people collect crystal vases. Some people collect elephants. Some people collect books. We're going to show you some fabulous collections. Now these, as you can see, are very large collections. Pez dispensers, and that's valuable actually. People collect Pez dispensers because they're valuable, but they should sell them, right? Okay, so anyone can be a hoarder. Teachers, professors, psychologists, doctors, engineers, homemakers, older adults. It hits all classes. It hits all income streams. It doesn't matter if you're really, really rich or really, really poor. You can be a hoarder. It's just life. It's a psychological issue. Okay? They don't know how to hide the disorder. Oops, this thing does not like me. Okay. So hoarders know how to hide the disorder, excuse me. They typically don't have people over. They're not going to have parties. They're not going to have their friends and family over. They just say, oh, let's meet at the restaurant. You think they just want to go out to eat. Well, they're just a little embarrassed to have you over, that's all. It's not a problem for you. It's a problem for them. They may look neat and tidy, but their home tells another story. This is an actual picture of a house I was in. This is a house that was hoarded with books. The owners were a professor and a writer, husband and wife. Nothing in their house worked except the lights. They ate at restaurants, they showered at the club, and the husband slept on a couch in the basement, and the wife slept on the corner of the bed that wasn't covered. I know you're all going, wow. And this one, if you want to forward for me, this is the entryway. The reason I was invited is because the police department looked in that one open window and saw the collection and said, you have to fix it. All right? These are the hallways. She had cats. I never saw them. It was a 2-story. The upstairs was completely full. The stairs to the downstairs was completely full. And if you see on the left there, that stack of books, that covers the entire door. You can't get upstairs. All right? And when I walked in, I had a crowd crawl. I was doing this into the house. This is a hoarder. This is not a collector. She did not want to pay to get this fixed. She wanted the hoarder show to come in and fix it for her, because why should she pay to fix this? I can sell those books. I have a bookstore down the street who wants them all. I'm like, that bookstore is this big. I don't think they're going to be able to take all your books. She was adamant. So she did not hire us to clean this out because she didn't want to pay for it. All right, let's continue here. Continue. That's the crab crawl door. That's where I got in. It was very scary. All right, so it is a psychological disorder. We can go forward. Thank you. They most likely know it's wrong to own so much, but they can't stop and are out of control. When confronted, they deny the problem and they can get defensive. You cannot talk to a hoarder straight on about the hoarding issue. You have to come around the bend, if you will. The people we help typically are seeing a psychologist, a therapist, someone who is helping them through the issues and the reason for hoarding. We are not maid service. People that help hoarders typically are there to help the person through the problem and teach them some ways to contain and control their items, because otherwise their items control them, right? Okay. Common reasons for hoarding: fear, becoming poor, forgetting the memories. Most people, it's because of the memories. Someone's passed in their life and they're keeping all of that. Maybe someone passed early or someone's divorced. OCD, which sometimes can be good for me. I'm OCD, but it works for me because I can do a lot of things at once. And it's also bad. We're perfectionists, if you will. Trauma, death, divorce, abuse, loss of some kind, depression. They think the items are still useful. I'll use it someday. Who's heard that before, right? We've all heard that before. We've actually said it. Oh, I'll use it someday. I'll be a size 4 again. Oh, sure I will. Yeah, if they take out all my body parts, maybe, right? I don't think that's going to happen. Heredity, grew up in a hoarding home or a very disorganized home. Or maybe mom was a stickler and wasn't allowing you to keep anything. It could be both ways, all right? It is a complex disorder, and it is a disease like alcoholism. It needs to be helped. It's not something where you could say, well, you're dumb. Why are you collecting all that? That's just dumb. Well, it's not. It's a disease. It can't be helped. So it's complex in nature. You can't force someone to clean up their home unless they face eviction or receive a citation. You can't make them, okay? If you don't address the issue, the house will return to its hoarding state. So you can fix it, you can clean it up, you can straighten it up, but it'll never be corrected if you don't get that person specific help, okay? The hoarder has to seek help and counseling. So this is a case that I worked on. We were calling her Mrs. Smith because, you know, we don't talk about our clients, it's rude. So she was married to a very verbally abusive husband. He made her feel very small. And I'm sure other people have been made to feel small, but what she did was she finally got the gumption to see a psychologist and get her apartment cleaned up because she divorced him. Isn't that nice? So she finally got away from him, but because of the divorce, she was hoarding onto stuff. She was hoarding office supplies and makeup. So she'd go to the store, she'd buy it, she'd tie it, and throw it in her apartment. All right? She slept and ate in her car. She showered at the club. It was quite a large apartment that was full to the ceiling. Okay? So we didn't judge her. We went in and we helped her. We first took 2 people to basically just open the door and start there, because the only clean spot was where the door opened. That was it. It was filled to the ceiling from that point on. So we stored all of the items she couldn't part with in clear containers, and the items we could get her to part with, we donated or we tossed. We did fill 10 dumpsters worth of stuff. We got rid of half the office supplies, which is very, very good for a hoarder, because that was her biggest issue, was hoarding the office supplies. So we got half of it gone, the other half donated. And then we taught her to keep her apartment neater, and we contained everything in clear containers so she can see it. Most of us are visual, so we want to see our stuff. So what happens is we just leave it out so we can see it, right? Well, if you start stacking everything, you could see it, but if you put it in clear containers, you can still see it, and that does help. But it's also contained and doesn't take over your entire house. So once we went back only one time, and we helped her learn her flow, and we moved her to her new apartment, and she never hoarded again. She kept seeing her therapist because she needed to talk to someone about her issues with her ex-husband, but she blossomed. That was one of my favorite stories ever, so I use it. It was my first hoarding experience and the best outcome. Fabulous. All right. Linda was going to be evicted due to poor upkeep of her apartment. She was disabled, needed help to clean it up. The following picture is the kitchen. So we're going to keep going. That was her kitchen. She was wheelchair bound, and we went in. This looks messy and gross to most of you, but it was easy. So next picture, that was after one day. We've cleaned it up, we organized it, and as you notice, she's in a wheelchair. How is she going to reach those top shelves? Does it make sense? So when you're setting up a kitchen for someone with disabilities, you have to make sure it's within reach and within the grabber reach. Everyone knows the grabber, right? We call it the claw, right? So you can reach down and reach up, but nothing heavy can go up and nothing breakable can go up. Why? Because we'll drop it and we'll break it. We're in a wheelchair, so we have to keep that in mind. Okay, Sandy was a young professional working downtown, and as you know, work can take over your life. Well, this work took over her life, and we're gonna go ahead and fast forward. This was her bedroom. She didn't want anyone in her house. She hadn't had anyone in her apartment yet. She was very embarrassed. This is the hallway. This is the other end of the hallway. It's really bad. This is her kitchen. Yeah, I know. And so what happens is, do you want people to see this? It's embarrassing. So we went in and we helped her get organized. We helped her get contained. We got rid of the garbage. And that weekend she had a party. She had all her friends over. She was so proud and she never hoarded again. She just got a little disorganized. It was her first real job. She wanted to really do a good job at work and gave up cleaning, which you can't give up cleaning. You have to have a balance, right? So after that, she never had us back because it was done. We taught her flow. You have to have flow. If you don't have flow, you have chaos, right? All right, let's see here. I have to talk faster. Okay, go ahead. There are more pictures. We cleared the clutter in 2 days. New perspective on life. We're gonna just keep going here. This one was ordered to be cleaned up by a local municipality. He has 3 houses. We only touched 1. This is his house. I don't know if you can see those photos, but his upstairs ceiling was caving in due to the weight of the extreme hoarding. All of the carpets were destroyed, the walls were destroyed, and if you can see the ceiling, he had some water damage. So we took a crew in for a week. It took a week, filled many, many dumpsters, and removed everything. Next photo. This is the upstairs. And he has 3 houses, remember, we only touched 1. The other 2 still look really poor. And this is the after. And as you notice, what is your biggest asset? Your home. You do not want to destroy your home. This home was destroyed. It needed to be completely gutted and redone. All of the floors, the joists in the ceiling had to be redone, everything, because of the mold, the water damage, and the extreme weight of the hoarding. So don't destroy your home. If you're getting to this point, you really need to get some help now before you destroy your biggest asset, okay? Is this a collector or hoarder? Nice and neat and clean and tidy and contained, right? So this would be a collector. Now, is this one a collector or hoarder? Well, it could be either way, couldn't it? If this collection took up the entire house, it would be a hoarder, even if they're cute and cuddly and all lined up. Doesn't matter. This could be a hoarder, okay? Now, what about this one, collector or hoarder? I would say that would be a nice hoarder of garbage, and it needs to be shoveled out. In that case, you can just take a backhoe to it. Collector or hoarder. It's contained, it's nice, it's neat and tidy. Again, if every room in the house looks like this, it's excessive. All right, a lot of us have issues. This one's cute. I like, lunch pails. You know what it is? It's a wall of decoration. What they did was instead of painting a wall, they took lunch pails, put all the colored lunch pails on a wall and made it art. Looks good, right? So that's what? A collection. That is not a hoarder. How about this one? Hoarder. You guys can comment. Everybody in the world will hear you. All right, next one.
It's a hoarder.
Thank you. It is a hoarder. Yes, you're catching on. It would have been a collector if he just had it in his wall, but it kind of grew, didn't it? So he's getting obsessive, and he can't say no, right? What about this one? This is called envy. All of us women want this closet. I saw this and went, I could use that. That's very, very cool. I love organizational tools, so that one's fun. Next one. This is a family room and a master bedroom in a house that we had decluttered. Definitely a hoarder, and unfortunately a dirty hoarder. She had cats, which she never found. Next one. This was an alcoholic. Again, never left her house with cats. Seems to be a theme with cats. They don't clean up after animals, so they just get a cat who contains themselves. But unfortunately, in this case, it did cause a lot of damage to the apartment. We were called in because all of the neighbors were complaining about the odor. Next one. This one was, again, cat house. You can see it. You don't want to see it. We're moving on. Next one. This is a dining room table. This is a typical house where people bring things and just start making piles. And this, if it gets out of hand, will grow. This is just the beginning stages of a hoarder. There's 5 levels. This is like a level 2. Not that bad yet. And thank God we got in there early. All right, so people are very misunderstood as hoarders. They have defects in memory, don't see what we see. They don't see the piles. They don't see the dirt. They don't see the trauma they're creating. They just see their stuff, if you will. They have to keep things out in the open. They ignore everything else. They don't see squalor. They don't smell the odor, and they don't find the dirt a problem. They have great difficulty making decisions because they want to make the perfect decision. So not making a decision to them is better than making the wrong decision. And unusual emotional attachment to animals. Many of the people that hoard animals as well. I did not put those photos up because they're pretty extreme, and we don't have time. So hoarding can confuse good attention with action. They think love is enough. So if they have 100 animals, she loves them or he loves them, so why not? Why can't I have that many animals? I love them. They love me. They're going to get to it someday to clean it up. They have vivid imaginations. They don't see neglect and harm caused by hoarding. They bring stuff in even if there's no place to put it. And pets are sometimes the primary emotional attachment. That's their only relationship. They don't have people relationships. They have animal relationships because animals never tell them anything negative, do they? They never tell them no. So some causes of hoarding are, like I said before, divorce, trauma, death in the family, a significant health event, family dynamic. Basically, if you were never taught to keep things neat and tidy or how to contain things or how to use your flow, you're going to lose sight of what really is going on around you. So the Illinois General Assembly had an Elder Abuse and Neglect Act put in place, basically saying that hoarding is self-neglect. So now we can get seniors at least, and people who have this disability, because it is a disease, we can get them the help they need because it is against the law to be neglectful of oneself. And hoarding is considered neglect. So if you do know a hoarder who really needs help, you can actually get them help by calling for a wellness check. And someone will help them then. And it is important because if they don't see it and they don't know it, they're the ones getting hurt. And they can't get help if they don't know it's really a problem. So everyone needs to step up and help your neighbors. So collectors contain their items. In conclusion, collectors contain their items. Collectors organize their items. They're proud to show everything off. Okay, so if I'm a collector, I collect vases. I'm going to show you my vases. Here, you want to buy me some flowers? We can put in some of my vases. Fabulous, I love flowers. Now, hoarders will not let you in the house. Okay, they don't contain their items. Hoarders think they're organized, but they're not. They don't let people in their houses, and they can't be clean because there's too much stuff. And even if they think it's clean and the piles look clean, the problem is behind those piles is dirt. So when we go in to declutter and streamline someone, we have to wear hazmat suits, we have to wear masks, and we have to wear gloves because once we start moving things, everything is airborne. Everything. Now, if you have mice and you put out poison, well, great, the mice are dead, and that's fine. But they walked around, and all that arsenic that they were on their little feetsies is now on all your stuff. So when you start touching all that, guess where all that arsenic goes? So you have to wear gloves and you have to wear masks, otherwise you'll get very ill. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and talk about service organizations. Get your wellness check. If you're worried about a neighbor, get a wellness check. Report elder abuse. If it's an elderly person who really needs the help and they won't accept it, you might want to report that elder abuse, self-neglect. Your senior center, your township, there's a woman named Cherie Travis. She's an attorney at law, and she investigates animal abuse. She's fabulous. She gets people help. She doesn't just prosecute people. She helps people, so it's really nice, okay? Humane Society, homeowners associations can be really good because they are a legal organization. So if your neighbor is in a condo with you and you smell something, get your homeowners association involved. Thank you very much.
Hi everybody, my name is Ralph King. I'm from the DuPage Senior Citizens Council, which is a provider of Meals on Wheels here in DuPage County, and the Meals on Wheels program and more. I am the and more part. I am the Director of Home Maintenance for the DuPage Senior Citizens Council. I basically assist seniors with minor home repairs in their home to keep them to stay in their home as long as possible. Basically, we provide services as far as plumbing, electrical, carpentry, indoor, outdoor. We also provide a chore day program, which we do through 3 times in May, the first 3 weekends in May and the first 3 weekends in November. We have yard cleanup where we get volunteers to come out and clean your yards. At no cost. The service is free. We also have a pet program at the DuPage Senior Citizens Council where we provide food and medical service for your pets if you can't provide, I'm sorry, this is not going well for me. I'm not somebody that likes to speak in front of a public, so I do apologize. But I also love to help seniors. That's why I do my job. I wake up every day with a smile on my face to come out and help a senior any way possible. We also do, what was that? Oh, I'm sorry. Basically, let me go through my spiel again. Again, my name is Ralph King. I'm the Director of Home Maintenance for the DuPage Senior Citizens Council. I'm going to tell you how my program works. I basically receive a phone call from a senior or a loved one of a senior with a problem. I take down some information, basically your name, address, and phone number. I set up an appointment to come out and look at the problem. That is called an estimate. Estimates are free of charge. So the first time I come out, there'll be no charge, but I'm also not doing no work. I'll evaluate the problem, make sure it's something we can handle here at the DuPage Senior Citizens Council. If it's something we can handle, then I'll make another appointment to come back out to do the actual work. At that point in time, when I come out the second time, it changes from an estimate to a job. All jobs, no matter what they are, whether it's electrical, plumbing, carpentry, indoor, outdoor, it's $40 an hour, plus whatever material I may need to use to fix the problem. If it's a job that's too big for us, I have a contractors list full of contractors that are licensed, bonded, and insured, and if I have the right contractor that best fits your needs, I would then give you their name and number, tell you what to tell them when you call them so that they know you received their name and number from us here at the DuPage Senior Citizens Council. At that point in time, we're out of it. It's between you and the contractor. We have 3 qualifications for the program. Number 1, you have to be a senior citizen. Number 2, you have to own and live in the house that we're working on. And number 3, you have to live in DuPage County. And that's basically the home maintenance program. I do apologize, I don't have no slides or no presentation to give you, but that's basically the home maintenance program. Okay, thank you very much, have a great day.
Hi everyone, my name is Helen Fitzpatrick and I work for Metropolitan Family Services in their Senior Services program, and we have 3 different offices. We have an office, our main office for Metropolitan is in Wheaton, right downtown Wheaton, and we have different services there aside from Senior Services. And then we have an office here at City Hall in Elmhurst and one in Woodridge. So the one in Elmhurst is a 2-person office, and we're both licensed clinical social workers, and we do counseling for anyone who is 60 and up and in DuPage County, and those are really the only 2 requirements. And we're also able to do home visits if transportation is an issue, and it often is with seniors. We also do some work with caregivers of senior citizens. We can also provide counseling for them as well. Some of the things that we, typical things that we counsel about are depression and anxiety, grief and loss, loneliness, family stress, financial issues, and coping with memory loss. When I get a call from somebody here at City Hall, when I ask them what their issue is, I usually try and tackle it as far as getting them to think about it and what they can do, what maybe a family member can do, the town, the township, the county, and outward. It's just a way of trying covering all your bases when you need support, especially if you think about aging in place. So if it's something that a family member can help you with, you go there. And then you see if they can help you with whatever they can do. The city offers some things too. There's a transportation program here. There's the Grace Cafe, which provides meals from the different churches. If you want to know more about this, I would direct you to the website, and the phone numbers and the pertinent information is there also. I know that residents of Elmhurst most get a Pocket Pal that has all the important information, the county's number. I know that there's a number for Ralph's program as well. And if you're not getting it, if you live in an apartment, they keep extras here at this building. There's also a walk-in ministry here in Elmhurst, and then there's also the YMCA and the SALT meeting as well. Depending on what township you live in, York or Addison, they each have their own transportation program, so you'd have to call them, and they're very user-friendly as far as explaining the program to you. They also are the point of contact for the LIHEAP program, which helps people with their electricity bills. The DuPage County has their own senior services program. They have the Adult Protective Services program, which sometimes coincides with what Jennifer was talking about. And they have also through the county, there's Prairie State Legal Services if someone's having an issue with a landlord. And there's various lending closets, there's senior centers, and there's the People's Resource Center. This would be, if you wanted to learn more about this, this would be a call to the county, and they have case managers there that will take your phone call. It's not anything that you'd be waiting on hold for a very long time. And then anything else that you'd need, if you'd want to bump out even further from the county, you'd probably look to the state, and they have a benefits access program and the Area Agency on Aging, and that's available online too. They offer different programs. And then bumping it out to the federal, and that's just the Medicare program and Social Security. Those are the kind of different agencies that we interact with. And if you needed to have any more, if you had any questions about that or needed an application printed off, please call the number. It's 630-833-1353. That's our main office. And if you are, so if you have any questions, please call, and we'll see what we can do to assist you and get you the support you need. That's it.
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Cathy Fielmann, and I'm here representing the Home Care Association of America. I'm the current Illinois chapter president. I also own and operate a local Comfort Keepers office, who provides in-home care as well. So I'm going to talk to you about a few different things. First, I just want to give you an overview of the Home Care Association of America. Founded in 2002, the HCAOA is the industry's leading trade association for providers of home care, which encompasses a broad range of services that supports seniors' well-being and enables them to age in place. HCAOA protects the interests of seniors by setting the standard for high-quality care, represents the industry's unified voice in Washington, D.C., and state governments across the country, and connects the industry members through education and awareness efforts. Today, HCAOA represents more than 2,000 member companies that employ more than 500,000 caregivers across the United States. So, Just this year, the Illinois chapter, we've been responsible for passing 2 bills into law, and one of them is an amendment to the Licensing Act, which means that all Illinois hospitals and nursing homes will be required as of January 1st, 2018, to only refer to licensed home care agencies. And that will, really in return, that will just give all of our senior citizens, really all the people of Illinois, peace of mind knowing that the list that they'll be getting from their hospital is just home care, licensed home care agencies. So like I said earlier, I want to talk to you today about the value of home care, what is home care, the benefits of home care, and what to look for when you're hiring a home care agency. So just a few statistics. As we all know, America's population is aging quickly. Right now, it's projected in 2020, 56 million Americans will be over the age of 65. By the year 2050, it'll be 84 million Americans over the age of 65. And our oldest population, over 85, is on pace to triple by the year 2040. So more Americans are requiring care than ever before. Right now, 40% of adults 65 and older need daily assistance, which means meals, light housekeeping, grooming, hygiene, transportation, maybe medication reminders, and companionship. Seniors want to stay in their own home. We all know that. That's definitely what they prefer. But the gaps in the care continuum is emerging. 9 out of 10 Americans 65 and older want to stay in their home for as long as possible. And 80% think their current home is where they will always live. AARP estimates the base of family support will shrink from 7-to-1 to 3-to-1 by the year 2050. We all know our families are growing farther and farther apart. The average distance between family members is growing. On average, adults 60 and older with 1 or more children live more than 280 miles away from their nearest child. All of these factors contribute to the widening gap in America's healthcare continuum. So what is home care? Home care is a valuable solution in this changing healthcare continuum and helps seniors maintain active lifestyles for as long as possible in the comfort of their own home. Again, it includes companionship, wellness and safety, help in and around the house, activities of daily living, transportation, and many more. So the benefits of home care. Home care provides seniors with the choice to age at home and promotes peace of mind and wellness to the family caregivers. People 65 and older are twice as likely to suffer from a fatal fall as anywhere else in their home than anywhere else. So caregivers help with sometimes dangerous everyday tasks like cleaning and laundry and serve as an extra set of eyes and ears in the home. Up to 75% of older adults reportedly make some kind of error taking meds because it's a lot to keep track. Most people are on multiple medications, and so it's very difficult. Caregivers can work and help them make sure that they're taking their medications on time, and then report back to the family if they see any other issues. So professional caregivers enable seniors to enjoy living independently, living longer. They provide a range of services that benefit seniors by keeping them safe, healthy, engaged, and active. Now, just a little bit about America's health system. Caregivers can provide doctors with valuable information that may help improve the diagnosis and treatment of seniors and help them avoid costly hospital stays. They can go to the doctor's appointments with them. And again, report back to the family because it's a lot to take in when you go see your doctor. You probably have a lot of questions. They give you a lot of information. Sometimes they might not talk in our terms and it's very hard to understand. So 2 ears are better than 1. The U.S. saved as much as $25 billion in hospital costs in 2008 alone due to the growth of home care services over the previous decade. Oops, hold on. So I'm going to wrap it up with what's the difference? What type of home care agencies are out there? There's employer-based models, and then there's registries, placement agencies, and private caregivers as well. So the employer-based models means that the home care company employs its caregivers directly, offering security and benefits for workers and peace of mind for clients and their families. Employer-based home care companies also conduct background checks on all of their employees. They ensure their caregiver employees are fully trained, supervised, and comply with all applicable licensing and labor laws. All members of the Home Care Association of America are required to adhere to the employer-based model. And the other model, like I had mentioned before, were registries or the private caregivers. So these are caregivers that are independent contractors, which results in the consumer being the caregiver's employee. If you hire a private caregiver or you work with a placement agency that finds you a caregiver, once you pay that caregiver, you're their employer. So you would be responsible for all employer-related liabilities, such as payroll taxes, workers' compensation, and insurance. So if that caregiver that you employed privately got hurt in your home, you would be responsible for that. So naturally, we highly recommend the employer-based home care. So in closing, the Home Care Association of America home care companies give their clients security and peace of mind by conducting background checks on all employees, and they ensure their caregiver employees are fully trained and supervised. They also provide dependable, reliable supply of caregivers for families and comply with all licensing and labor laws. Perhaps the greatest value that home care provides is choice. The choice to maintain dignity and independence, the choice to live at home. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause for our panel. I think they gave us a broad spectrum of living in our homes safely. I'd like to remind everybody that on November 18th, we are going to have Money Smart for older adults. I think it'll be very interesting. It will be here at 10 o'clock. It's going to be presented by Suburban Bank and Trust, and it will cover financial future, including how to guard against identity theft and other forms of financial exploitation, how to prepare financially for unexpected life events, and what to have ready in case a disaster strikes. So I encourage you, if you have not made a reservation, to make sure that you come, because I think it would be very, very interesting. And of course, you can always look it up at the Independent paper. We have cable, and it will be played several times during the month. I also want to remind everybody that DuPage Senior Citizens Council and Metropolitan Family Services are subsidized by your tax dollars here in Elmhurst. City Council has a line item in their budget for these two organizations, which I think is another means of them supporting seniors here in Elmhurst. Metropolitan Family Services, and I don't want to repeat, but I believe Helen shared with you, is housed right here in this building. So if you need any resources or if you need any help, make sure that you come and use that service, because it's at your disposal. I always close with a quote, and I never repeat the same quote, but because of the rain today, I have to repeat this quote. Okay, life is about waiting for the storm to pass. It isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning how to dance in the rain. So today, during the thunderstorms, try and remember that smile and dance in that rain. Thank you so much for coming to Community Conversations, and our panelists will be out in the foyer with answers to any questions you might have and flyers and information. Thank you for coming.
Starting this fall, the City of Elmhurst will begin a citywide water meter changeout project requiring all residential and commercial water meters to be replaced. This project is needed because the majority of the city's meters are over 25 years old and have exceeded their life expectancy. The city has experienced many years of 18 to 20% of unaccounted for water. The city has hired Siemens as contractors to replace all water meters with highly accurate, non-moving part mechanical water meters that will aid in detecting leaks. The new water meters have the ability to provide on-demand reads as well as leak and tampering alerts and early identification of leaks before they surface. A customer portal will also be available for residents to electronically monitor for leaks and manage their water consumption online. Elmhurst water customers can expect to receive an introductory letter with project information. Project updates will regularly be posted on the city's website and social media pages. Residents are also encouraged to attend informational open house events that will be scheduled at City Hall. The water meter changeout project is expected to occur through spring of 2018 and is mandatory for all residents and businesses. The project will be completed in sections throughout the city. When Siemens is approaching a neighborhood, residents in the area will be sent a series of postcards requesting to schedule an appointment. Residents are asked to be responsive and schedule an appointment once this notification is received. The new water meter will be installed at no additional cost. Residents will be expected to have an adult over the age of 18 years old home at the time of appointment, which should take no more than 30 minutes to complete. Residents should attempt to locate their water meter in advance and ensure the meter is accessible for Siemens at the time of the appointment. On the date of the water meter changeout, the resident should take precautions and look for the logo on the installer's uniform and vehicle and make sure the installer's ID is visible before allowing the installer to enter the home. All of Siemens installers will be identified with an ID badge and will be driving marked vehicles. They will also be wearing project shirts with the project logo. Once the installer enters the home, residents will be asked to guide the installer to the location of the water meter. The installer will take the following steps to complete the water meter changeout. First, the installer will turn the water off at the main valve. Then the installer will exchange the old meter with the new meter. The installer will then turn the water back on, confirm proper flow direction, and inspect the installation to make sure no leaks are visible. The installer will connect the communication wire to the new meter and test to make sure a meter reading can be obtained. Finally, the installer will ensure that the work area is clean around the new water meter before leaving. During the installation process, the installer will take pictures of the old and new water meter. Once the water meter installation is complete, the installer will give the resident information on how to read the new meter and gain access to an online program called WaterSmart. WaterSmart is an online portal where residents can view account information, monitor daily water consumption, detect leaks, and set up notification alerts. The installer will also give the resident information on how to complete a customer service survey. Once the water meter is replaced, residents will receive a bill that will look the same as previous bills, but will include any remaining water use on the old meter, along with any cumulative use on the new meter. All subsequent bills will only include use from the new meter. A noticeable difference in the new bill will include uses registered in gallons versus cubic meters. Any billing questions should be directed to the city's utility billing department by calling 630-530-3111. The City of Elmhurst would like to thank all water customers for their cooperation during this important city project. Please visit www.elmhurst.org/water-meter-changeout for more information and to find out what area Siemens is currently working in. For questions on the installation process, please contact Siemens at 866-260-3176.